I'm sure you've heard the news. IU's a superstar. Her name lights up billboards, her voice fills stadiums, and her songs top charts across the world. But behind the glitz and glamour, there's a story that's even more powerful than her biggest hits. But what you might not know, she started with nothing but hope and a stubborn will. Before the world knew her as IU, she was just a young girl with a dream. Walking the lonely streets at night, her heart full of music and her mind set on a future she could barely imagine. She didn't have fancy clothes or a famous family. What she did have was a burning desire to sing, and a belief that somehow, someday, her voice would be heard. This is how she turned pain into pure power. Picture this: a little girl huddled in a cramped, broken apartment, cockroaches as her roommates, the walls were thin, the nights were cold, and every day was a struggle. IU's family faced financial hardships that most of us can only imagine. Sometimes there wasn't enough food on the table. Sometimes the only comfort she had was the sound of her own singing echoing through the tiny room. But even in those darkest moments, she never let go of her dream. But instead of giving up, IU clung to a single spark: her love for music. She practiced until her voice was raw, determined to break out of the cycle of poverty. Every day after school, she would lock herself in her room and sing for hours, pouring her heart into every note. She wrote her own songs, scribbling lyrics in the margins of her school books. Music became her escape, her therapy, and her hope for a better tomorrow. Now, imagine being told you're not good enough over 20 times, rejected by every agency, criticized for being too ordinary. Most would quit. IU kept going. She wrote, she sang, she refused to let anyone else define her worth. Each rejection letter was a bruise, but also a lesson. She learned to stand tall, to keep her chin up, and to believe in her own unique voice. She didn't try to fit into someone else's mold. She created her own. And slowly, the world began to notice. Even after her debut, the bullying didn't stop. But IU didn't change herself to fit in. She let her music do the talking. Songs like Palette and Love Poem became her way of turning pain into beauty. She sang about her struggles, her insecurities, and her journey, connecting with millions who felt the same way. The more honest she was, the more people loved her. She became a voice for the voiceless, a symbol of hope for anyone who's ever felt like they didn't belong. IU's story isn't just about fame. It's about grit, honesty, and proving that tough times don't last. Tough people do. She reminds us that no matter how hard life gets, we can rise above it. Her journey is proof that dreams are worth fighting for, even when the world tells you to give up. If IU can do it, so can you. So whatever you're facing, remember, your story isn't over yet. Like, share and subscribe for more inspiring stories. And never forget, sometimes the brightest stars are born from the darkest nights.